Close your eyes and imagine this. You're standing in a prehistoric forest 95 million years ago. The air is thick, humid, and suffocating. Suddenly, the ground beneath your feet begins to tremble. Trees sway. Birds scatter into the crimson sky. And then you see it. A shadow stretching across the clearing, belonging to something so massive, so impossibly deadly, that your brain can barely comprehend its existence. This isn't fiction. This actually happened. These creatures were real, and they were the most efficient killing machines our planet has ever produced. Today, we're diving deep into the world of prehistoric apex predators, and trust me, what you're about to discover will change how you see the natural world forever. If you're fascinated by these ancient monsters like I am, hit that like button and subscribe, because we're about to embark on a journey 200 million years into the past. Let's start with something that shouldn't exist: a dinosaur that rewrote everything scientists thought they knew about prehistoric predators. Picture yourself as a massive prehistoric fish gliding through the murky waters of what's now the Sahara Desert, back when it was a network of lush rivers and swamps. The water is warm, and you've just caught a smaller fish for breakfast. Life is good. But then something changes. The sunlight filtering through the water suddenly disappears, blocked by an enormous shadow above. You instinctively turn, but it's already too late. Descending toward you with terrifying speed is a creature that defies logic. Part dinosaur, part crocodile, part whale. Welcome to your encounter with Spinosaurus, the largest carnivorous dinosaur ever discovered. Spinosaurus wasn't just another meat-eater. It was evolution's boldest experiment, a 49-foot-long, 22-ton aquatic hunter that lived roughly 95 million years ago in the rivers and coastal regions of North Africa. To understand how bizarre this animal was, imagine taking the hunting instincts of a great white shark, the size of a Tyrannosaurus Rex, and the swimming ability of a crocodile, then combining them into one prehistoric package. That's Spinosaurus. The most striking feature was the massive sail-like structure running along its back, neural spines that could extend up to 6 feet high. Scientists have debated the purpose of this sail for decades. Some believe it was used for temperature regulation, allowing Spinosaurus to absorb heat from the sun or dissipate it when needed. Others suggest it was a display structure used to attract mates or intimidate rivals, making the dinosaur appear even larger than its already impressive size. A third theory proposes it could have stored fat, similar to a camel's hump, providing energy reserves during lean times. But the sail wasn't the only unusual feature. Spinosaurus possessed a long, crocodile-like snout packed with conical, interlocking teeth, perfectly designed for catching slippery fish. Unlike the blade-like teeth of most carnivorous dinosaurs, which were meant for tearing flesh, these teeth were ideal for piercing and gripping aquatic prey. Chemical analysis of Spinosaurus teeth has revealed isotopic signatures consistent with a diet dominated by fish. Though they certainly weren't picky eaters, any creature in the water was fair game. Perhaps most remarkably, recent fossil discoveries revealed that Spinosaurus had dense bones. Unlike most dinosaurs, whose bones were hollow and light for efficient land movement, dense bones are a characteristic of aquatic animals, as they provide negative buoyancy, making it easier to dive and stay submerged. Additionally, its nostrils were positioned high on its skull, similar to a crocodile, allowing it to breathe while mostly submerged. Its tail was paddle-shaped, providing powerful thrust through the water. Spinosaurus also possessed relatively short hind legs compared to its body size, making it somewhat awkward on land but incredibly efficient in water. Its forelimbs, however, were powerfully built, armed with massive curved claws that could reach over a foot in length. These weren't just for show. They were precision instruments for hooking large fish or fending off rivals. Living during the mid-Cretaceous period, Spinosaurus shared its ecosystem with massive prehistoric crocodiles, flying pterosaurs, and enormous prehistoric fish called coelacanths and sawfish. It was the apex predator of this aquatic realm, a position it held unchallenged for millions of years. When Spinosaurus entered the water, everything else scattered. The tyrant king, Tyrannosaurus Rex. Now, if Spinosaurus was the king of the water, there was another monarch ruling the land with an iron jaw, literally. Tyrannosaurus Rex needs little introduction. It's the poster child of prehistoric terror, the dinosaur that haunts our nightmares and dominates museum exhibits worldwide. But here's what most people don't realize. T-Rex was even more terrifying than Hollywood portrays. Let's talk numbers that will make your spine tingle. An adult Tyrannosaurus Rex stretched approximately 40 feet from snout to tail and could weigh up to 9 tons, roughly the weight of 3 cars. Its skull alone measured over 5 feet in length, housing a brain that was surprisingly large for a reptile, suggesting higher cognitive function than most other dinosaurs. This wasn't just a mindless eating machine. It was an intelligent hunter capable of problem-solving and strategic thinking. The most devastating weapon in T-Rex's arsenal was its bite force. Biomechanical studies estimate it could exert a crushing force of over 12,800 pounds per square inch. That's more than 3 times the bite force of a modern great white shark, and about 6 times that of a lion. When T-Rex bit down, it didn't just pierce flesh, it pulverized bone. Fossilized prey animals show tooth marks that penetrate deep into massive leg bones, with the bone tissue showing signs of being crushed rather than merely punctured. T-Rex's teeth were equally impressive. Some reached lengths of 12 inches, including the root, with crowns up to 6 inches long. These weren't delicate piercing instruments. They were thick, robust, and serrated like steak knives. Unlike the teeth of most carnivores, which are blade-like and designed for slicing, T-Rex teeth were built like railroad spikes, capable of withstanding the tremendous forces generated during bone-crushing bites. As teeth wore down or broke, which happened regularly during violent feeding, they were continuously replaced throughout the animal's life. The eyes of Tyrannosaurus Rex faced forward, providing binocular vision with significant overlap between the visual fields of each eye. This gave T-Rex exceptional depth perception, crucial for judging distance when launching attacks. Some studies suggest T-Rex may have had visual acuity comparable to modern hawks, meaning it could spot prey from tremendous distances. Combined with an olfactory bulb that was proportionally one of the largest in the dinosaur world, T-Rex could detect the scent of carrion or wounded animals from miles away. Those famously small arms, often ridiculed in popular culture, were actually quite powerful despite their size. Each arm could lift approximately 400 pounds and was equipped with 2 functional clawed fingers. While they couldn't reach the dinosaur's mouth and weren't used for feeding, paleontologists now believe they served important functions, possibly helping the animal push itself up from a resting position or gripping prey during mating. T-Rex lived during the very end of the Cretaceous period, about 68 to 66 million years ago, in what's now Western North America. For approximately 2 million years, T-Rex was the undisputed apex predator of its ecosystem, a reign that only ended with the catastrophic asteroid impact that wiped out non-avian dinosaurs. The southern giant, Giganotosaurus, While T-Rex dominated the northern continents, a different titan ruled the south. Meet Giganotosaurus, whose name literally means giant southern lizard. A fitting title for what may have been the largest land predator ever to walk the earth. Discovered in the Patagonian region of Argentina in 1993, Giganotosaurus immediately challenged T-Rex's position as the largest carnivorous dinosaur. While estimates vary and are hotly debated, Giganotosaurus likely reached lengths of up to 43 feet and could weigh anywhere from 8 to 14 tons, potentially exceeding the largest known T-Rex specimens. Its skull alone measured approximately 6 feet long, slightly larger than T-Rex, but with a different jaw structure optimized for a different hunting strategy. Unlike T-Rex's bone-crushing bite, Giganotosaurus had teeth designed like steak knives, thin, blade-like, and serrated on both edges. These teeth weren't meant to crush bone. They were precision cutting instruments designed to inflict massive bleeding wounds. Giganotosaurus would bite and retreat, allowing its prey to weaken from blood loss before moving in for the kill. This strategy was particularly effective against the enormous sauropods, long-necked dinosaurs that could reach lengths of over 100 feet and weigh 70 tons or more. The ecosystem of late Cretaceous South America, around 97 million years ago, was filled with these titanosaurs, and Giganotosaurus was specifically adapted to hunt them. Evidence suggests these predators may have hunted cooperatively, working in loose groups to take down prey that would be impossible for a single individual to kill. Fossil sites have revealed multiple Giganotosaurus individuals in close proximity, though whether this represents true pack hunting or simply multiple animals gathering around a carcass remains debated. Giganotosaurus had proportionally longer arms than T-Rex, equipped with 3 clawed fingers that could grasp and hold struggling prey. Its legs were powerfully built, and while it wasn't particularly fast, probably maxing out around 20-25 miles per hour, it didn't need to be. Its prey, the massive sauropods, were even slower. What made Giganotosaurus truly formidable was its combination of size, hunting strategy, and potential social behavior. A coordinated attack by several of these giants would have been absolutely devastating, capable of bringing down even the largest herbivores of the time. This represents a fundamentally different approach to apex predation compared to the solitary, power-based hunting of T-Rex. The speed demon, Carnotaurus. Not every prehistoric predator relied on massive size. Some evolved for pure speed, and none exemplified this better than Carnotaurus, the meat-eating bull. Living approximately 70 million years ago in South America, Carnotaurus was a medium-sized predator measuring around 25 to 30 feet long but weighing only about 1.5 or 2 tons. Lightweight compared to the giants we've discussed. What it lacked in mass, it more than compensated for with speed and agility. Carnotaurus possessed one of the most unusual skulls ever seen in a carnivorous dinosaur. It was short, deep, and equipped with 2 horn-like protrusions above the eyes, giving it a distinctly bull-like appearance. These horns were likely used in intraspecific combat, males butting heads to establish dominance or compete for mates, similar to modern bighorn sheep or bulls. The real magic of Carnotaurus was in its legs. Biomechanical analysis of its skeleton reveals adaptations for high-speed running that surpass almost any other large carnivore. Its thigh bones were proportionally longer than most theropods, and its lower leg bones were even more elongated, a classic sign of a cursorial or running animal. The pelvis was broad and extensively developed, providing attachment points for massive leg muscles. Based on these features, paleontologists estimate Carnotaurus could potentially reach speeds of 35 miles per hour or more, making it one of the fastest large predators in dinosaur history. But speed came with trade-offs. Carnotaurus had absurdly small arms, even more reduced than T-Rex. Tiny, vestigial structures that appear to have served no practical function whatsoever. The teeth were also relatively small and not particularly robust, suggesting Carnotaurus hunted smaller, faster prey rather than tackling giants. The hunting strategy of Carnotaurus was likely ambush and pursuit. With its excellent vision, large eye sockets suggest good visual acuity. It could spot prey at distance, then use its incredible acceleration to run down targets in open terrain. Think of it as the cheetah of the dinosaur world, built for explosive speed rather than prolonged combat. Remarkably, we have skin impressions from Carnotaurus, revealing it. Had a hide covered in small, non-overlapping scales interspersed with larger, conical scales that ran in rows along the body. This gives us a rare glimpse into the actual appearance of a dinosaur, something we usually have to speculate about. The underestimated hunter, Dilophosaurus. Thanks to a certain blockbuster movie franchise, Dilophosaurus is one of the most recognized dinosaurs in popular culture. Unfortunately, it's also one of the most misrepresented. The real Dilophosaurus was far larger and more dangerous than its Hollywood counterpart, and it couldn't spit venom or unfold a theatrical neck frill, both cinematic inventions with no basis in fossil evidence. The real Dilophosaurus lived during the early Jurassic period, approximately 193 million years ago, making it one of the earliest large predatory dinosaurs. At 23 feet in length and weighing around 880 pounds, it was similar in size to a modern polar bear, not the small creature depicted in film. The most distinctive features of Dilophosaurus were the twin parallel crests that ran along the top of its skull. These delicate, paper-thin structures were definitely not weapons. They would have shattered upon any significant impact. Instead, they likely served as visual displays, possibly showing sexual dimorphism, meaning males might have had more elaborate crests than females. They may have also been brightly colored, used to attract mates or signal social status within groups. For years, paleontologists debated whether Dilophosaurus was actually a capable predator or merely a scavenger. Early assessments suggested its jaws were relatively weak, leading some to propose it couldn't bring down living prey, and instead fed on carrion. However, more recent biomechanical studies have overturned this interpretation. While Dilophosaurus didn't have the bone-crushing power of later predators, its jaws were perfectly adequate for killing prey in its size range. The teeth of Dilophosaurus were blade-like with fine serrations, ideal for slicing through flesh. Its hands were equipped with 4 fingers, unusual for theropods, most of which had 3 or fewer, with the first 3 bearing large, curved claws. These would have been excellent grasping tools, used to hold struggling prey, while the jaws delivered killing bites. Dilophosaurus represents an important transitional form in theropod evolution. It lived at a time when carnivorous dinosaurs were just beginning to diversify and establish themselves as apex predators. The ecosystems of the early Jurassic were dominated by large herbivorous prosauropods and early armored dinosaurs, all potential prey for a hunter like Dilophosaurus. What's fascinating is that Dilophosaurus shows us that even 193 million years ago, carnivorous dinosaurs had already evolved sophisticated hunting adaptations. It was a proving ground for features that would later be refined in the later predators: sharp teeth, powerful claws, bipedal locomotion, and likely some degree of intelligence and problem-solving ability. The intelligent raptor, Velociraptor, and Utah raptor. No discussion of prehistoric predators would be complete without addressing the raptor family, small to medium-sized hunters that compensated for their size with intelligence, speed, and devastating weaponry. Let's start with the most famous, Velociraptor. The real animal bears little resemblance to the human-sized monsters in Jurassic Park. Actual velociraptors stood only about 2 feet tall at the hip and measured roughly 6 feet from snout to tail, about the size of a large turkey or small wolf. They weighed around 30-40 pounds, making them relatively lightweight predators. But don't let the modest size fool you. Velociraptor was a supremely adapted hunter. Its most devastating weapon was the enlarged sickle-shaped claw on the second toe of each foot, which could reach 3 inches in length. For decades, paleontologists believed this claw was used to disembowel prey, but more recent studies suggest a different function. The claw was likely used to pierce vital areas or pin down prey, with the actual killing done by bites to the throat or neck. Velociraptor possessed a relatively large brain for its body size, with particularly well-developed regions associated with vision and coordination. This suggests sophisticated hunting behavior, possibly including cooperative strategies. While the evidence for pack hunting is debated, some fossil sites show multiple individuals preserved together, hinting at social behavior. Perhaps most importantly, we now know that Velociraptor was covered in feathers. Quill knobs found on fossilized arm bones prove conclusively that these dinosaurs had plumage, likely similar to modern flightless birds. The feathers probably served multiple purposes: insulation, display, and possibly even helping with balance during high-speed turns while pursuing prey. If Velociraptor was formidable, its larger cousin, Utahraptor, was absolutely terrifying. Living approximately 125 million years ago in what's now Utah, Utahraptor was essentially a scaled-up version of its smaller relatives. Adults could reach 20-23 feet in length, stand 6 feet tall at the hip, and weigh over 1,000 pounds, similar in mass to a large grizzly bear or polar bear. The sickle claw of Utahraptor was proportionally even more impressive, reaching 9 to 12 inches in length. This was a serious weapon capable of inflicting grievous wounds on even large prey. Combined with powerful jaws filled with serrated teeth and grasping hands equipped with additional claws, Utahraptor was a complete killing package. Evidence suggests Utahraptor may have hunted in family groups, using coordinated tactics to bring down prey much larger than themselves. One remarkable fossil site preserves at least 6 Utahraptors, alongside a large plant-eating dinosaur, all apparently trapped together in quicksand-like sediment. This tantalizing glimpse suggests these predators were working together to attack the herbivore when disaster struck, preserving their final hunt for eternity. The combination of size, weaponry, intelligence, and potential pack behavior made Utahraptor one of the most dangerous predators of the early Cretaceous. It occupied a unique ecological niche, too large to hunt small, agile prey effectively, but perfectly sized to target medium and large herbivores using speed and coordination. The aggressive Jurassic hunter, Allosaurus. We've talked about the Cretaceous period's apex predators, but what about the Jurassic? That distinction belongs to Allosaurus, a 28-40-foot-long predator that ruled western North America approximately 155 to 145 million years ago. Allosaurus was built for active hunting. Unlike the heavily built T-Rex, Allosaurus had a more lightly constructed skull with larger eye sockets, suggesting good vision. Its teeth were blade-like with serrations, designed to slice through flesh and cause massive bleeding. Biomechanical studies suggest Allosaurus used a unique hunting technique, using its powerful neck muscles to drive its open jaws downward into prey like a hatchet, inflicting deep, devastating wounds. What makes Allosaurus particularly interesting is the evidence of its aggressive behavior. Fossil sites contain numerous Allosaurus skeletons showing signs of serious injuries, broken ribs, damaged vertebrae, infected wounds, and more. Many of these injuries appear to be the result of combat with other Allosaurus individuals, suggesting intense competition and possibly even cannibalism. The most famous Allosaurus fossil site is the Cleveland Lloyd Dinosaur Quarry in Utah, which has yielded remains from at least 46 individual Allosaurus, more than any other predatory dinosaur from a single location. Mixed with these were various prey species, and analysis of bite marks on the bones reveals Allosaurus feeding on everything from small dinosaurs to their own kind. This aggressive, opportunistic behavior suggests Allosaurus was highly adaptable. When large prey was available, it hunted actively using its speed and agility. When food was scarce, it scavenged. When competition was fierce, it would even turn on its own species. This flexibility helped Allosaurus maintain its position as apex predator for millions of years. The bigger picture. What we've explored today represents just a fraction of the incredible diversity of predatory dinosaurs that ruled Earth for over 160 million years. From the semi-aquatic Spinosaurus to the lightning-fast Carnotaurus, from the intelligent Velociraptor to the massive Giganotosaurus, each species evolved unique solutions to the challenge of survival in prehistoric ecosystems. These weren't just mindless monsters. They were sophisticated, highly adapted organisms that filled every possible predatory niche. Some hunted in water, others on land. Some relied on brute strength, others on speed and intelligence. Some were solitary, ambush hunters, others possibly coordinated pack hunters. Together, they represent some of the most successful predators ever produced by evolution. The reign of these magnificent creatures ended 66 million years ago, when a 6-mile-wide asteroid slammed into what's now Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula. The impact triggered global firestorms, tsunamis, and a prolonged impact winter that blocked out the sun and collapsed food chains worldwide. The age of dinosaurs ended catastrophically, making way for the age of mammals, ultimately leading to us. But the story of these predators isn't entirely over. Their descendants still live among us. Every bird you see, from the tiny hummingbird to the mighty eagle, is a direct descendant of the theropod dinosaurs we've discussed today. The hunting instincts, the intelligence, the feathers, even the skeletal structure, it's all there, just scaled down and adapted for flight. When you watch a hawk dive at 200 miles per hour to snatch a rabbit, you're seeing 200 million years of predatory evolution refined to perfection. Each fossil is a time capsule, preserving a moment from a world so alien yet so fascinating that it captures our imagination completely. These predators remind us that humans have only been around for a geological blink of an eye. Dinosaurs ruled for over 160 million years. Our entire recorded history is less than 10,000 years by comparison. They survived multiple mass extinctions, adapted to radically changing climates, and spread across every continent. They were, in every sense, the most successful large animals ever to exist. So the next time you look at a bird, remember, you're looking at a living dinosaur, the last remnant of an age when giants walked the earth, and the line between nightmare and reality blurred into something both terrifying and magnificent. If you've made it this far, thank you for joining me on this journey through prehistoric time. These ancient predators have captivated me since childhood, and I hope today's exploration has sparked that same sense of wonder in you. There are dozens more incredible predators we didn't have time to cover. The crocodile-like Suchomimus, the horned Ceratosaurus, the massive Carcharodontosaurus, and so many others. Let me know in the comments which prehistoric predator you'd like to learn about next. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the fascinating world of paleontology and natural history. Until next time, keep looking up. And remember, the dinosaurs never truly left us.